2 minute warning. Footbury, second quarter. Back right at you. Tim Maurice. Sorry, not Maurice. Bells.
Yeah, yeah.
Take it away.
What we got, Timmy?
Well, your owner, John Mara, he has said that he sees the future there will be a playoff expansion. Um, how do you feel about that now? A playoff expansion. You think is that benefit? Would that benefit the league?
100%, absolutely, emphatically, no. Let me tell you something. You expand the playoffs, what you're going to do is you're going to make it from 6 teams to 8 teams in each conference. So now you got 16 teams in the playoffs. That's half the league. All right? In the last 5 years, I went back and I looked. 4 times in the last 5 years, a team has had 10 wins and not made the playoffs. So you would have added 20 teams to the playoffs in those 5 years, and only 4 of them would have been 10-win teams. The rest would have either been 9-7 or 8-8 mediocre teams. Now I understand that sometimes you're going to get a division winner that's got a crappy record that's going to get in the dance, but so be it. You win your division, you deserve to be in the dance. The only 10-6 teams that didn't make it in the last 5 years, in 2010, you have both the Giants and the Buccaneers at 10-6. But that was the year you had the Marshawn Lynch came back out of nowhere, first year in Seattle when they were 7-9, and got to host the 11-5 Saints and beat them at home. And Marshawn had his breaking out coming back game. The other 2 teams were the Eagles of this past year, which was another year you had a team under 500 win a division, which was 7-8-1 Panthers, and you had the 10-6 Bears back in 2011, which was the team that cost Lovie Smith his job, even though he went 10-6, lost his job. Right. So now you got, I mean, I could name them all, but you got like some 8-8 Jaguars teams that would have made it, 8-8 Charger team, 9-7 Texan team. You have all these mediocre teams that all they're going to do is water down this playoff. Not to mention, you're going to devalue the regular season. Right now, there's a reason to be one of the top 2 teams. You get that week off. You get that rest week. If you add 2 more teams to the mix, you're going to have 8 teams. You can't give a team a bye. One's going to have to play 8. Two's going to have to play 7, so on and so forth. So now what is the reason for going all out, running your starters all the way through week 17, when getting the top seed doesn't mean nothing but a home game? See, what Roger Goodell did a couple years ago was he took the schedule and he made it so that the last couple weeks of the season you play divisional opponents only. Now, the reason he wanted to do that was to put more onus and more emphasis on those games. By making it a divisional game, there's a better chance that that game's going to mean something. And it really worked in the NFC East for 3 years in a row. Your Cowboys made it to that last game, needed to have it, lost all 3 to each of the 3 teams, but nonetheless, that was exciting.
You don't got to smile about that. You don't got to smile when you say that. I saw you smiling, Bell. You got to smile while you talking about that.
My bad, Timmy. But the basic gist of the thing is now you're going to take away from the regular season, take away from the playoffs because you're going to add mediocrity to the playoffs. I hate it. I think it's a terrible idea.
Well, I love it. More football, more playing time. I love it. The reason why I love it, too, is that, first of all, I believe that it should be only, if you add another team in there, it will be 7 teams. One team will get the bye week. Everybody should play it out. I don't like the fact how teams like the Patriots, who went 11-5 without Tom Brady. That tells you how crappy their division is. And they go every year to the playoff. It's a shame how you got some teams who got to fight every game. Listen, people make fun of the NFC East so many times. Oh, the Giants record, the Cowboys record, the Redskins record. Hey, listen, NFL fans, we got the most chips. Our division got the most chips. Who got more rings than us? None of the division got more rings than us. I mean, the only one who hasn't gone was the Eagles, but the Eagles are a lot more tougher than some of the other teams in the other divisions. We look at the team like the Patriots. I mean, my God, that's already 6 wins already from a 17-week schedule. 6 wins. You gotta look at the other teams they play after that. There's a bad record. They may beat 1 or 2 good teams down the stretch. What happens? They ain't in the playoffs. Easy road. Now, if anything, I would love it that it'd be hard for traveling, but I would love if every team could mix it up. It'd be a realignment every year or every 2 years where every team would go to a different division. But of course, traveling would be crazy. But I mean, this is the thing. I think the expanding the playoff benefits teams that are very good and just don't make it because you got a team like 7-9 winning the division. I mean, it's embarrassment. It's embarrassment. I mean, you have the Saints, the Falcons, Carolina, and Tampa, and you're talking about what was it, 6-10, 6-10, 6-10.
Yo,
it's an embarrassment.
Tim, I got to piggyback off something you said. I never thought about doing it like that. Now you're saying add a 7th team and only give 1 team a bye and the home field advantage. See, now that's interesting.
That's it.
I kind of like that. I kind of like that better than adding 2 teams. And adding 1, you're talking about adding more quality team. You start adding 2, you're going to be looking at an 8-8 team getting in at least one of the conferences every year. And another thing, too, if they're making changes to the playoffs, something else they should do, I understand you got to let a division winner in, like Carolina this past year, or like the Seahawks that year, they went 7-9.
Right.
But you got to get rid of them having a home game. How can the 7-9 Seahawks get to host the 11-5 Saints in a building that's impossible to play? That's just not fair, man. If something's going to change, that's the first thing that's got to change.
No, listen. It's I just feel bad for a lot of the good teams not making it in. Again, when you got the Philadelphia Eagles, and I again don't like the Eagles, I don't care for them, but we're gonna keep it real. They were 10-6. They missed it, but the Carolina Panthers, what were they? 8-8, 7-9. They make it in the playoffs. I mean, listen, it's just very hard to swallow that. And not for nothing, in the NFC East division, again, it's a 60-minute football game every game. Every game is a 60-minute football game. The playoffs starts by week 14, by week 15. That's when the playoffs start for any team in the NFC East. You go to the Patriots side. What do you see? Their playoffs. Basically, they won the division week 2.
They got to wrap. They got to wrap it up by Thanksgiving at the latest.
Exactly. You go to the Baltimore division. That's a division they fight every game. Between Pittsburgh, Baltimore, the Bengals. Even though the Browns are kind of crappy, they still fight. They give you a fight. So again, I would love if they could do a realignment where every team gets mixed up. Throw it out there. Everybody gets mixed up in a different bracket, a different division every year. And you know what? It's good like that because therefore you don't know who you're facing next year. That's what I would love. It'd be like a surprise thing. But if this is gonna,
I mean that's a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
I like your enthusiasm. I do, but I mean you take away from rivalries if you're doing that. And like you said with the travel, I mean you're creating a nightmare. But listen, I mean, the Patriots have been good for a long time, but their time's going to come when they're going to be bad again. The Jags have been bad for a long time, but eventually they're going to hit. Things are going to go in full circle. So I don't think you need to do the crazy division change, but I really, really do like your idea of adding 1 team. See, I never thought about that. I was always thinking adding 2. You take the buys away completely. Now you got 8 teams. It just seemed too watered down to me. The idea of adding 1 extra team, and now you put an onus on getting that number 1 seed that much more important. The teams have to play to the end because that's the only seed that now gets a bye. I think that idea can go places, man. I like that.
Hey, Sean, you good, Sean?
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, that's the end of the call. I'm sorry. I'm just juggling a couple of things. Doing something behind the scenes. trying to coordinate the show, but I guess that's the end of the quarter, right?
Yeah, man. I think I got the Fury out on that one.
All right. Okay.